Hey, welcome to your Gemini horoscopes for the week of October 29th to November 4th. It's Halloween week, so that's kind of exciting if you're running around celebrating, or maybe it's not exciting if you're not. You do you, whatever that happens to be. Focus is on your day-to-day schedule this week, and we do have some moon action this week as well, which is going to, it's got its good points and its bad points. We'll just put it that way. We are going to kick off the week actually on Monday with the moon moving into Gemini, but it's the good news. There's good news and there's not so great news. It does move into a square with Saturn. Saturn is one of those really difficult planets for Gemini because Geminis are very mutable, very changeable, very kind of on the spot, sort of like to do things without specific ground rules, so to speak. And Saturn is all about those ground rules, but it is retrograde at the same time. Which means it's less about being responsible, maybe a little more about being irresponsible. This is kind of fun, right? But also is about taking personal responsibility. And with Saturn's focus on the past, this really is about taking on your own responsibilities in past situations. I think we focus a lot of our energy on what they did to us, and we don't focus enough energy on how we may have played into that scenario just a little bit. And with the moon focusing on relationships, this is part of what builds a healthy relationship. And we have to take ourselves out of that expectation of this is theirs to fix and really look at what's ours to fix as well. This is a big problem in most of the world right now. I mean, it's not just individuals that are doing it, this is why we get into wars, because you got a whole bunch of people who all believe the same thing and they refuse to take accountability for the actions that might have offended another person, and boom, we're in a war. It's just kind of how that works, right? In order to omit that in the world in some way, we have to omit it from ourselves. And that's always the hard part. The good news, though, is to help you out with this is the moon's trine with Pluto as it comes into your sign on Monday morning. Pluto is all about power. It's all about transformation. This taking accountability is what gives you power. And as difficult as a challenge as it may be to do it, this is also what makes it necessary to do it. It's a step towards claiming that power. It's a step towards changing who you were into who you're about to become. And it's all about evolution and improvement on a personal level for us. So it's a necessary step, but it turns out to be a really good step, is I think what I'm trying to get at here. As we move into Tuesday, the moon moves into a square with Venus and not much else, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Now, square with Venus is a bit of a challenge, specifically because Venus is very much focused on your long-term financial goals, while the moon's focus is on your day-to-day schedule. And this sort of creates a time issue, so to speak, almost as if you're getting swept away in your mind, which is totally not overactive at all, by the way. You're getting swept away in your mind over not having the time, not having the resources, not being able to commit in order to achieve those goals. And once you start that process, you have zero control over changing any of it. So you want to stay out of that as much as possible. The moon's going to try and sort of drag you down into it, but you're in control of your mindset. You're in control over which direction that goes. As long as you maintain that control, it does become a lot easier. As we see the moon leaving our sign, by the time we get into Wednesday, the moon does leave in a T square with Neptune and Venus. So we still have that square with Venus. We're adding a square with Neptune, which is what makes this a bigger challenge. Neptune's focus continues to be on the mind and how the mind works. Neptune is also all about intuition. And it's basically saying, as you are worrying and obsessing over how these things are going to happen, you're not allowing your intuition to come in and help guide you in the direction that you need to be in, or guide you in the direction that you want to go in order to achieve these goals. So I think a lot of times an old mindset of no matter what I do, it's going to it's going to take so much work to get there. That's just ingrained in us as human beings. And overthinkers spend too much of their energy focused on that kind of mindset. And when that happens, it just sort of creates this space where we don't do anything about it. And the lesson here is to avoid that and move on to the next step, is to basically prove them wrong. Yes, we can do this. We absolutely can do this. And we don't have to be emotional wrecks in the process. The moon moves into a trine with Saturn at this point also. Now, we were having a challenge with Saturn at the beginning of the moon's progress. As we're leaving it, Saturn is coming in and being helpful and reminding you again of that personal accountability there to your schedule. Okay, you're in control of it for the most part. And we fill our schedules with a lot of things that we don't need to be putting into our schedules, which makes us less productive. So it's just a happy little reminder of, you do have time, you just have to manage it accordingly. As a fellow intellectual who likes to live life seeing what comes of it in order to determine what direction I'm going in that day, rather than having a strict schedule, I sort of had to talk myself into a semi-strict schedule where I have certain things on the schedule that are productive, but leave holes to kind of live in my own way, the fly by the seat of my pants kind of way. It does really help. If that helps you guys, it does really help me, because it allows me to continue to be me, but also take responsibility of my time a little bit better as well. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do send me a tip or a donation through my Ko-fi link. Send me a coffee. I would really appreciate that. That's ko-fi.com/heavy metal psychic, or you can click the link in the video description. It'll take you right there. I am working on getting booking services on that link as well as my website, so that you can book from literally anywhere, which is fantastic. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, you guys have a seriously productive week. Just get her done. I mean, that's all there is to it, right? Just make sure that you have control of your schedule and not everybody else around you having control of your schedule. That gets really, really annoying really, really fast. So I'll see you guys next week. Make it a great one, you guys.